My name is Kelli Ross, and I'm the social worker and bereavement consultant with Genesis Hospice. And I was asked to reach out to you guys today from the Mental Health and Recovery Board and talk to you guys a little bit about how to talk to our children about death and dying. As you know, in our community, we've had an increase in deaths with COVID-19, as well as deaths that normally occur in our community. So the first thing I want to mention is let's take the word death or dying off of the taboo list. Let's start normalizing it. Typically our children aren't afraid of that word. It's us adults that tend to want to soften the blow of what we tell our children about death and dying. A lot of times we say we lost so-and-so, or so-and-so may be sleeping, but when we use those words, kids tend to think of them very literally, so then they have an abnormal fear of being lost or someone going to sleep, either themselves or a parent or close loved one. So even though it's uncomfortable for us, kids tend to like black and white, and what we don't tell them, they tend to make up in their mind, and that's usually worse than the truth. So a lot of times using the change of seasons when we talk about death and dying is a good start. Leaves, how they are alive on the tree, and then in fall they die. We could also use the same about flowers. And I know that's a very big jump from our loved ones that may have died, but it's a good way to start with kids. So we also need to allow them to grieve. I think oftentimes as parents, we never want our children to be sad or hurting. We try to protect them, and we also try to fix everything. So it's okay for them not to be okay following a death. Encourage them to recognize their feelings, to use them. I am sad, I am angry. It's usually more harmful to suppress those feelings. So feelings are not wrong and they're not bad. So whatever they're feeling, we need to go with that for them. So one of the more helpful things we can do for our kids is to allow them to see us to grieve. If they see us crying, that is a very healthy way to grieve. So then they'll be able to see, oh, okay, mom or dad is crying, that's okay for us too. We're role models for our children, and that's what they'll usually mirror and do the same. It also gives them the opportunity to talk about their feelings, and if we talk about our loved one that has died, it gives them the opportunity to join in that conversation or to feel comfortable talking about their own experiences and memories with their loved one. Although grieving looks different for every individual, so some of us cope better with changes than others. It is not one size fits all, so one of your children may be coping okay, while the other one is struggling a little bit more. It's a good thing to allow our children to have some say in the grief process. Especially with death rituals, a lot of times, do they want to see their loved one before they die, or would they rather not visit them? Give them a choice, and if they go to the funeral home or not. A lot of times that makes them feel a little more control of the situation that they don't feel that they have much control over. And you might notice that your children are very sad and crying at 1 minute and then ready to play at the next, and that's very normal as well. And I want you to remember that it's okay to not have all the answers. I feel that kids always don't want just answers, they want a discussion. So like I said, death is a very complex process, and grieving is very complex. So it's going to look different for everybody, so it's okay to say to your children, hey, I don't know the answer, what do you think? But it's also okay for you to reach out to an expert and seek some help for them, whether that be counseling or just talking with another friend of the family. I just want you guys to remember that through all this, you can always contact me at Genesis Hospice or to contact the local Mental Health and Recovery Board. Thank you.